Hey guys, it's Nitro Crate here, and we're at another video, and this is the top 5 most underestimated paths. But before we start this list, guys, I want to give a quick shout out to a YouTuber, UK Z Rifles 26. Now, he's a pretty cool YouTuber. He does live streams of Call of Duty Black Ops 3. He also does gameplay of Infinite Warfare. And he also does gameplay of Grand Theft Auto 5. And I'm sure he will appreciate it if you go and check out his channel. He's pretty cool. He does challenges all the time, like Starting Room Challenge for world records. And he's actually pretty good at the game. He's way better than me at Black Ops 3. He's way better than me. Way better. Be sure to check out his channel. He's put a lot of time and effort into his channel. I'm just giving him a quick shout out for hopefully he'll get a boost in views because he's really enthusiastic about it, but he honestly does not get that many views, and he would be really happy if he got some people to watch his videos. So I'm just giving him a quick shout out. Be sure to check out his channel. Channel link will be in the description if you want to go check that out. But anyway, with that out of the way, let me start with the list. Now, this is the top 5 most underestimated paths. And the first character I have got is Dr. Crankcase. And this is the Builder of Bots path. Now, be wondering, why is this path underestimated? Well, it's actually quite popular. But I needed a path at number 5, and I thought this was the most suitable path because although there are the people that like this path, usually people go with the top, and I can see why. The top is very powerful if you just want damage, because look, your goo puzzles do damage over time. It's actually quite a nice amount too. And yeah, your pistols are stronger too, and this is alright. It's not that strong, I don't think. But boy, this path is really good too. And it's actually, in my opinion, it's the best path. And I want to show you guys quickly why. I've got 4 other characters, and I don't think anyone ever picks the other path for these other characters. So yeah, this is basically the placeholder. This is basically a path that I just slotted in because just to make our top 5. But still, not many people pick this path. Now, yeah, your pistols aren't amazing on this path, but spin into your bots, and they do pretty nasty damage, and they do knock away enemies. These are mages, so they're not the best examples because mages can't get stung, and this is what these guys do. And when they spin into enemies, they do pretty disgusting damage, especially if they're gooified. Chompies are also not the best example. There, you see that? It's caused the stung status effect. That's what the sparks mean. Anyway, this is a really powerful path. And when the bots explode, they do a lot of AOE damage, sorry. So you can actually imagine how strong that would be against a huge group of enemies. Especially since you can have 6 bots active at once. That's like 600 damage if you get all the explosions off. And that's not including how much damage they're doing just by spinning into your enemies. They do a lot of damage. And those stungs are pretty nice too. Not to mention you can still do your charge shot like that. And that is still a solid 200 damage more even. And it's very powerful. Also, the bots do distract enemies, and they are fairly tanky, so they can take quite a lot of hits. But yeah, that's Dr. Crankcase. I actually do have I already have a video of that path on my channel. It's actually quite a recent video. I only recorded it a few days ago, so if you haven't seen that yet, be sure to check it out. It's a really good path. Really good. I recommend you actually try out because it's actually really good. It just requires more strategy than just spamming the square button. But to be honest, Dr. Crankcase on his top path isn't even that great when you just spam the square button. You need to use his other moves anyway, so, you know. Well, that's if you got Nightmare mode. It's not a problem if you don't care about that. But anyway, guys, coming number 4, we have Barbella. And this is on Ruler of Rocks.
It's crunch time.
And to be honest, I have no idea why this path isn't any more popular as it is. Maybe people just thought the rocks are not that effective, so why would they be effective if I pick the bottom path? Well, that's where you're wrong. The rocks are amazing on the bottom path. I've tried to explain to other people in the past why this path is so good, but I think if I get it on camera, people are going to be able to understand this path a bit better. And hardly anyone ever picks this path. I have no idea. I think the top path sucks. I honestly think it's so boring, and it barely does any more damage. I mean, Barbella Bash does even more damage. I think that's the reason why people pick this path. But I've actually tested it, and it's only the attack and it's only the combo attack right at the end, where you do the where you smash the boulder Barbellas to the ground. That's the only thing that gets a damage boost. A normal melee attacks don't get a boost at all. So, yeah, this is way better. Right, every time you damage an enemy, a rock crystal spawns. They spawn even more frequently. They critically, and yeah, and when they actually return to their target, it's like they hit them on the back end. It actually staggers your enemies. They actually get knocked up in the air a little bit. And it actually slows them down a fair bit, and you can get a lot of free hits in. So string them all like that, and you can just keep knocking them up. It's actually really effective. So as you can see, you can constantly keep your enemies staggered and just knock them away. Very, very effective. And if you want to be even more effective, activate the Soul Gem, probably in a better situation. And all the rock crystals will actually get pulled towards you, which actually makes it really, really easy to hit your enemies, and you can just knock them out of the arena very easily, or just do a ton and tons of damage. Pretty nasty. Also, every attack you do will actually make a rock crystal spawn. Yes, even enemies getting hit by rock crystals, it causes rock crystals to spawn. Even if they just stand on the rock crystal, more rock crystals will spawn. Yeah, that is pretty crazy. As you see, I just hit that sheep barbarian and a rock crystal spawn. And if you got the soul gem active, all those extra rock crystals will fly towards you. And you can actually hit them on the enemy, and they'll actually fly out. They'll go straight through that enemy, because on this path, they actually have a return hit. So instead of just breaking immediately, they will actually fly out and then go back for a return hit, which always critically hits. And what's really cool is that because now they go through the enemies, because they actually have a return hit now, they actually go through an unlimited amount of enemies, and then they do their return hit where they go through an unlimited amount of enemies until it hits the original enemy. So this becomes an amazing crowd control path. It is way better than the other path, because the only thing I found on the other path that was actually decent was the second upgrade, where you get the increased shockwave when you do your combo. But the problem with that is that there's not really any point, because the range isn't really boosted that much. Plus on the bottom path, once you get the second upgrade for the rock crystals have the ability to stagger your enemies anyway. And they can stagger even more enemies, because when they actually fly out and we go back for the return hit, they actually knock all your enemies up in the air. So I don't understand why people don't like the rock crystal path. It is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And it makes the soul gem really powerful, because when the rock crystals all come in together and they actually go really close to you, you can just end up spamming rock crystals left, right, and center, and you can completely dominate the battlefield. It is extremely powerful. But anyway, guys, for my number 3 spot, let me just put him on the portal now.
These guys are totally good.
It is Dr. Neo Cortex. And who would have thought this is also on the bottom path? No joke, literally every single path that is in this video is on the bottom path. Do you see a trend yet? Yeah, it's because most people pick the top path. I have no idea why that's a trend, but everyone picks the top path. I think the bottom paths are usually the best, though, with a few exceptions when the bottom path is not really that great. But let's talk about this path now. This path, I actually looked on Dark Spiral. This path has barely any votes. Like, this path has about 80% of the votes. No joke. This is how underestimated this path is. Now, the only reason why I've decided not to put this path any lower on the list, so it would appear at like number 1 or 2, is because I actually have talked about this path quite a lot already. So I decided to only put it at number 3. But this path, guys, is absolutely amazing. Now, this focuses on upgrading this ability here, which is Mask the Pain, which is the circle attack. So you press circle to damage and push back nearby enemies. Now the range isn't that great, but later you will get Mask Hooray Aid. Press circle to block projectiles during Uka Uka's attack. Now this upgrade isn't that great until you actually pick the bottom path. If you pick the top path, you get this staff, which, well, I'll give you my opinion on this path another day. Personally, I just don't think it's that good, but I will talk about it another day because I want to focus on the bottom path now. Anyway, the first upgrade, what does it do? Well, you press circle and it pushes back enemies in a line straight ahead, and projectiles in the way are destroyed. Now, that actually sounds pretty good on its own. Then you get to the second upgrade. This one is why I think this path is underestimated and definitely should be picked more. But it's very, very weird. And I'll go over what it does. Uka Uka now defends the area for a short time when a projectile is successfully blocked. Uka Uka also now explodes projectiles when he blocks them, dealing damage in an area around the deflection. Now, what does this mean? Well, basically, whenever you use this ability here, when you have this ability purchased, what it will do is that when you successfully block a projectile using Mass Hooray Aid, because you can now block projectiles, if you do successfully block a projectile doing that, another Uka Uka will appear in the around where you've actually blocked the projectile, and if any more are created, what he will do is he will zap them as soon as they get in his sight, and once they're zapped, they will actually explode. And if there's any enemies near the explosion, they actually take a lot of damage. They take tons. I believe it's about 100, but he can block an unlimited amount of projectiles at once by zapping them all. Like, he can zap unlimited projectiles. So if you've got a Doomlander that's shooting, that's like spamming these arrows at you, and they all coming like straight ahead for you, if you block one, Uka Uka will appear and then he will zap them all for you, and you'll actually stay in the area a little bit longer. And if any more are shot out, he will zap them again. And in the meantime, the enemy's actually taking damage from their own projectiles because, yeah, and the more projectiles the enemy's actually shooting out, the quicker they will actually take damage. This path is actually pretty broken. Can you imagine if we had PvP in this game and someone like Drobot that shot rapidly? It would be like... it would be absolute mayhem. But yeah, this is the final ability. You do that voodoo. Press circle to control Uka Uka and knock enemies around all over the battlefield. I'll be honest, this is not that great. There are a few scenarios where it actually is useful, but I don't use it that often. Like, it's the meh upgrade on the path. Just like this is the meh upgrade on the top path. So, it's a take it or leave it kind of thing. But let me go over why this path is so great. Oh, it's sheep barbarians. These guys will take a while to kill Cortex. God damn it. Yeah, this will take a while. Oh, the line elf, hit the mark. Oh. Let me just knock some away. So you can use them to knock them away, like so. Okay, they're gone now. So this is obviously really useful for keeping enemies away, because you can like knock them away like that. And you can actually hit them twice with one projectile, which is pretty good. Now Cortex doesn't do a lot of damage, so anything that does a moderate amount of damage is pretty good. It appears that no enemies with range attacks spawn appear just to annoy me. Come on, come on. I'm trying to demonstrate something and I get enemies that don't shoot. I got tons of them at the start. Come on. I feel like one's coming soon. But yeah, if you play the arena though, it's pretty useful for knocking enemies out of the arena.
But how will you fare in the lightning round? Actually,
I swear I'm going to get surrounded, am I? No, I'm not surrounded by fire mages yet. I feel like the only time I don't get fire mages is when I don't have Cortex in the field. Oh. Alright. It only hit one enemy, wow. Come on. Mages, where are you? Chompies. Alright.
Okay, now this party just
Yeah, this is time. Oh yeah, this is time to annoy me.
Get that big guy out of there. It's probably what the Skylanders are thinking right about
This
now.
would be perfect. Perfect moment if I was at number 1 already.
Just a matter of mind. Oh wow, chill, Bill. It is a pretty bad day to be a bad guy.
Is exactly the kind of thing that makes me glad.
I think I'll have to add like an annotation. So just how long it took. Anyway, yeah, block the projectiles and have fun not dying. Oh, perfect. Fire mages. So you can just enjoy not dying, and these fire mages just get completely wrecked. I think that was good enough demonstration.
Oh, that's nice.
So basically, guys, you just use the shield and you can block any projectiles. Unfortunately, the game decided to be very, very annoying and not give me any enemies that I could actually use the ability on, so I can show you guys. I might add an annotation so you can skip that waiting, but yeah. Anyway, number 2. Yep, it's Misty Cat's path.
Mystery.
This path is called Meow You See Me.
Most puzzling.
Guys, as you see, I play with this path a lot. Look, I've got 21,000 gold. Yeah, I use him a lot. So we got So yeah, this is another bottom path. Would have thought, right? Yeah. Alright, you got this. Alright, you got the feline's mute tool. Keep your friends close, which is by far one of the most strongest upgrades in the entire game. And not kidding around. Now, combine all these upgrades together and you get one devastating attack. Instead of me just telling you, I think it's better for me to show you. Yeah, you saw that damage. Yeah. And another great thing about it. This guy's gonna try and destroy him, right? That's only gonna lead to his own demise, unfortunately. Yeah. Major problem, right? Nah. Super easy. Yeah, probably one of the hardest waves in the entire game. You don't even get hit at all, which is the beauty of it. Because you can be completely invisible, no one can find you, and then you just do a ton of damage. Also, if you place down Copycat, they'll also charge into enemies. He wasn't right next to an enemy anyway, so he just exploded. And you can also do it from a distance too. You can get a distance and just explode your decoy. And all you have to do is hold triangle. It is completely broken. And you lay waste. I don't know why people think the top path is so much better. I don't know. Maybe they don't like killing things quick. Or maybe they like a challenge. I don't know. Nightmare mode is actually pretty easy when you got Mystic Cat on the bottom path. But anyway, guys. This is going to be the #1 path for the most underestimated paths in the entire game. Are you ready for it?
The spirit is willing.
It is the voodoo that you do. Now this path, if I don't get wrecked right at the start, I can actually show you. Yeah, this path is amazing. First upgrade's a bit iffy. I do find it quite useful, but you need to have really good timing to take full advantage of it. But the main reason why you want to go on this path is... Well, this is good too. This is actually really exceptional. The main reason why you want to go on it for this. This combined with a soul gem is absolutely broken, and I'll tell you why.
Do you mean for the Skylander?
Now, if you send Juju Jr. in like that, like, you know, decent knockback and all that, pretty effective. But what it does is it actually sucks them all towards Juju Jr. And if there's actually a really big group of enemies, like about 20 or so, you can just do that repeatedly by holding triangle for a brief moment and then releasing it almost immediately. And you can keep the mobility, so you can still jump and use it. So as you can see, I'm avoiding this guy very easily. But the thing is, every time Juju Jr. explodes, he actually stuns enemies by shocking them. And if enemies are shocked, they can't hit you back. And also the curse is actually pretty powerful. The curse does about 37 damage. So if you want, so you curse an enemy. So if you curse a bunch of enemies, you can like completely destroy them. Very easy. Very easy path.
Because things are about to get tougher. I read this in a fortune cookie last night, so it must be true.
Hopefully we get a large group of enemies. Nope. Oh well. This will do. And yeah, it actually does stun sheet major too, so when you get to those really annoying rounds, the only enemies you really need to worry about is enemies that you might get after rounds, like these guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can completely
speed? I don't even know.
Just completely destroy everything.
Alligators.
To be honest, guys, melee attacks, even though they don't do much damage on this path,
Oh, wow.
they didn't really do much damage on the top path either.
To be a bad guy.
And I don't really like the lightning. I don't like the lightning. I feel like the curse is way better than the lightning because I like to utilize her other abilities more often. Also, that shield, when it does kick in nightmare mode, it like saves you from taking like 200 damage. On a character that has really low health, you want as much defense as you can get. It's really, really powerful, this path. Very, very underestimated. The abilities you get are really unique, and they're also very, very strong. I feel like you're going to get hit, just deploy your shield. And you get about 3 seconds of complete protection. No damage whatsoever.
Not want to be a...
Can you imagine this path in PvP? It would be like the other player will have to be forced to play defensive. And as you see, guys, like this is really, really easy. It's a really good path, this. Because the thing, it also is really effective against bugs too, because you can curse them all, and they actually die. Alright, yeah, this is a good... Yeah, that's a good demonstration. As you see, you can just shock them all to death, and they actually just stun. You can't really fight back if they're stunned, can they?
See you later, big fella. Although, I guess we probably won't really see him later. I mean, that's kind of the point.
So you can just hide behind Judo Jr. like this, and just wait for enemies to charge at you. Yeah.
Oh, that's the end of that chapter.
You don't really need to go on this path to just do that, but you can actually suck enemies towards them, so you can like group them all up. Like so. And you can just trap them all, like that. The curse is also fairly useful too. Of course, you can upgrade the blades, but the blades aren't even that strong anyway on the top path. Don't forget, they are swashbuckler. They're not meant to do that much damage. They're meant to hit fast instead, which is to compensate. Which is why they do less damage than a knight, but actually can hit a lot faster. So bear that in mind. But if you got the curse, you can hit multiple enemies at once from a great distance. Anyway, before I ramble on too much, that is the video. They are the top 5 most underestimated paths in Skylanders. You can have your own opinion on whether they are the best paths or not. But in my opinion, guys, they are by far the most underestimated. And I definitely think more people should try out these paths. They are very, very powerful. But anyway, I'm going to end the video right here. And it's this point of the video where I'm going to say thank you for watching. And I'll see you in the next video. Next video is probably going to be another Nightmare Mode speedrun video. Or I might do another path guide of another character. Don't have anyone specific in mind, but if you want to see anyone, suggest it in the YouTube comments. But anyway, I'm going to end the video here now, guys. See you in the next one. Bye.